Rain off. Magus of the Moon. Win game. Rawr! Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and today Anubis has asked me to play yet another variant of Moon Stompy. So Anubis has constantly been trying to kind of push the boundaries of what is and isn't acceptable in this archetype, and I respect the innovation. So today we are playing Spiderpunk, or its legally distinct online version, Kraza the Swarm as 1. This has a Riot, which means it either gets a +1/+1 counter or haste when it enters. Other spiders you control, probably not going to have any of those, have Riot. More importantly, spells and abilities can't be countered, and damage can't be prevented. These two bottom lines do a lot of work in current Legacy. Obviously, Legacy has always been like this Days Force of Will format, and now there's also things like Consigned to Memory and Force of Negation that you have to think about as well. So these effects that stop counter spells like Veil of Summer and Allosaurus Shepherd and Destiny Spinner, they're already relatively strong. This is attached to a decently aggressive body and has damage can't be prevented. Now, in a world where the One Ring is the thing that's viable to do in Legacy that does not have Tamiyo in it, this is kind of a big deal, and this means that this card is going to be solid against a very large chunk of the metagame, at least in theory. It is a 2/1 creature with an asterisk next to it. When it is a 2/1, it is killable by Orcish Bowmasters, but the Riot ability is not a trigger. It is like an as ability with something like Phyrexian Revoker would be. So it can just enter with that +1/+1 counter and then not be vulnerable to an Orcish Bowmaster's ping just killing it, which is kind of neat. That's really the big thing that I want to talk about from the shell. Otherwise, most of the stuff that's here is normal or normal adjacent. We are using some flex slots for Dead Gone in the main deck, which I have mixed feelings about. Sometimes it's just absolutely insane, but Dead not killing Tamiyo is kind of a huge deal. Tamiyo is just so much of the format right now. And I wonder if, like, we're going to wish Dead Gone was more copies of something like Fury or Pyroglyph that we're not maxed out on. We'll kind of find out over the course of today. We're taking a middle-of-the-road approach as far as the lands go. We're not maxed out on Urza's Saga. We have 3 of them instead. And we do have a handful of silver bullets in the sideboard that we can tutor up. I don't have anything else to say here, so let's go ahead and hop directly into the Magic. Folks, if you need any Magic cards, please consider checking out my sponsor, toamagic.com. They're awesome. I've got ideas brewing for a new commander deck because I've got a problem and that format is really fun. And I think I'm going to be placing a large order with TOA in the next month or two once I figure some things out. I'll be using my own promo code ThrabenU to save 5% on my own order, and I'll be enjoying free shipping as well. Alright, let's Spiderpunk. Spider noises. Spider noises intensify. Alright, we have a busted One Ring start here. I don't need to worry about days right now. Let's just go ahead and lead on this and see what happens. It does resolve. Now that I know that a Chrome Mox won't just immediately hit something like a Prismatic Ending on turn 1, I think I'm okay playing this out on the off chance that my opponent does something like an Echo of Eons line that ends up just dumping my entire hand. Am I dead now? Am I dead now? Show and Tell, Sneak Attack, Initiative Creature, Eureka. Anything could happen. Okay, it is Initiative Creatures. So I am not on Caves of Chaos Adventurer in this list. Wow, 3 Lotus Petals to start off. Sure. My opponent's going to pull really far ahead here. This just being a mana dork here and allowing my opponent to deploy another card is pretty bad. Double Ancient Tomb on my end is not great either. I think I just play the One Ring. My Chalice of the Void is not doing anything here. I think I just save some life in the short term and start trying to draw towards something like a Fury. The issue is that Forge is going to fuck this all up. So I'm going to be pretty bad. Oh man, my opponent's mana base must be extremely greedy. This is probably a 3-color initiative deck. Yeah. So this is probably Naya initiative. Oh, sick. So since my opponent played another initiative creature, I get to dodge trap here. So my opponent goes to arena. So they goad their own creature. So I did not take 5 additional damage there. And a spirit guide. Fuck. This is turn fucking 2. If I didn't have the 1 ring for that protection, I would have taken 10 damage this turn and be at 6 already. Good God. And I get 1 spell, and my lands enter tapped. I think we're going down, folks. This is real bad. Broadside attack. Throw the 1 ring at Archon. Opponent takes 2. Post combat, I play a Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. I am at 13. I'm facing down 8 damage, and life is pretty bad. I think that's my way forward. Send it. Broadside. I think it just has to be the Archon here. I just need more than 1 spell, unfortunately. So I now take the initiative. I'll get a mountain. And then I have to figure out my life. I don't think I can stabilize my lands with Blood Moon right now. I'm just under 8 points of pressure, plus maybe Catacombs into Throne of the Dead 3 both this turn, depending on what my opponent draws. I think I am imprinting the Blood Moon. Paying 2 for this and not dropping a land to leave City of Traders in play. And then I try to loot into another 1 ring to buy me some time. The opponent is attacking with both creatures. Can't block the big one, which is now a 6/7. My opponent can junk that once upon a time. I'm going to take the hit. I am unhappy about it. And the stuff that I can throw with Broadside right now is not big enough to kill these creatures. Even throwing a 1 ring doesn't kill the Undermountain Adventurer anymore. Life's bad. Alright, they are going for Catacombs. 1 unknown card in hand. Thankfully, it's not a live card. I'm definitely doing this. Ancient Tomb is bad at this stage, and get rid of Mountain. None of this stuff is going to do it. I can do some scrying, I can do some +1/+1 counters, I can kill a creature, but I'm just dead to this. What if I throw Simian Spirit Guide at Seasoned Dungeoneer and then chump block this? Die to the Skeleton Menace token? No, I don't. So I play a Simian Spirit Guide. I throw this here, and then I need 3 bodies back. I can only have 2 bodies back. I'm throwing this. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Damn. We lost the matchup lottery there. Chalice of the Void did not do what I needed it to do. So I don't need Chalice of the Void. I don't need Soul Guide Lantern. That means the Urza Saga package is not particularly good. This just goes to face for a lot of damage. That can help with something like Minskin Boo if my opponent is playing it. Don't feel great about that. I could do Spider Punk just as another body, and it can help against my opponent's potential 1 rings. That seems fine. I think that's all that it is. I have not felt great about Red Prison the last couple of times that I have played it. I don't think it is a well-positioned deck in Legacy, despite its play rate. I could do turn 1 Urza Saga, turn 2 Magus of the Moon, have an Urza Saga that sticks around forever but doesn't really do anything. Alternatively, I go Urza Saga, Fable, double Spirit Guide, and try to loot into some land. And that is kind of whatever. It feels like this hand often just falls apart and just doesn't work mana-wise. I think I will mulligan this. I am absolutely willing to gamble with this hand. My opponent's mana is pretty bad, I think. I will just get rid of an Urza Saga here. It's not going to be at 2 counters for the whole Magus of the Moon thing. And we're just doing this and seeing if it just outright kills my opponent. They do have probably 3 basic lands in their deck, and there are some Spirit Guides and such that can help out with this. But this could be a major setback. My opponent had a triple Lotus Petal opener last time, though, so, you know. Oof, opponent found a Fury. That is terrible for me because it means that I can't deploy this creature this turn. Fury deals 4 damage, and if I put the +1/+1 counter on this, like, that's still 4. So I will play a land. Note that I don't have to pay life for that here. I'm just hitting in for 2, and now I'm just kind of a hostage to that Fury. Well, I was right. Opponent does not have colored mana. Okay, cool. So we're chilling. What if I just play Broadside and throw Magus at my opponent's face for 5? Is that good? Doesn't really feel good. This creature you don't control. I'm sending in. I'm going to try to play conservatively here. I don't want to be playing conservatively. That is another colorless land. Green mana. Undermountain Adventurer. That's very good for me if my opponent does not Fury Magus of the Moon. If they Fury Magus of the Moon here, this is awful. So they got basic planes, which does not cast this. So now I just gone this back to hand, and I get to take the initiative. Yeah. So send in for 2, grab a mountain, play a mountain, and play a Blood Moon. We're just trying to play around this Fury as much as possible. And hopefully I just maintain initiative. I might not. Archon is fine. Forge is very actively good here. Because now Fury doesn't outright kill this. Send in. Opponent is at 10. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll take my +1/+1 counter and pass. Now I have a creature either way after a Fury, and can maybe outright kill my opponent next turn by playing Broadside as my 1 spell. I've got an alternative line on the previous turn where I go into Lost Well and then play Broadside, throw Magus at Archon. I think I'm trying to use this Broadside to just finish the game. Maybe I'm wrong there. Alright, so there is just Hardcast Fury. Opponent takes out Magus. I will take 2 damage. My opponent can now put some +1/+1 counters on Fury. Oh, they're doing it on Archon instead. Sure. Double Broadside. That's real good. 5 damage from Trap. 2 damage from Broadside. 4 damage from throwing this at my opponent's face. Seems good. So that has Menace. So there's Initiative. There's Trap. Target you. Opponent's at 3. Throw Spider-Punk. Opponent is dead. Magus of the Moon gamble worked out, although the Fury being revealed there was very, very warping on that game. My Blood Moons are definitely worse on the play. I could, like, maybe sub 1 Blood Moon or 1 Magus for the last Spider-Punk. Urza Saga, Chrome Mox, Imprint, Sundering Eruption, Hasty Spider-Punk on 1 for 2 immediate damage. Urza Saga is okay. Hand seems medium. I maybe just keep it because answering an immediate creature and having the ability to take the initiative immediately on turn 1 is good. I'm going to reluctantly keep this. There's some potential here. Cavern on Human, and opponent passes the turn. I think I'm always imprinting Sundering Eruption. I think I'm fine going in on Urza's Saga. I think I keep these 2 together, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm going to take the larger body at the cost of some immediate damage here. Opponent is on 4 mana, and we've got a Seasoned Dungeoneer. The game is afoot. Hopefully I just Fury this creature out of play, take the initiative myself, and then ride some Urza Saga tokens to victory. Fuck. This means that my opponent gets some turns with the Undercity before I get to attack with an Urza Saga Construct token. Alright. Fury, Pitch Dead gone. We remove my opponent's creature before they can forge it up. And then I will drop a land and pass. If my opponent can keep the creatures going here, which Lost Well is going to help them do, I'm in trouble. I can maybe contest the initiative with 2 different bodies next turn. I have Lava Spur Boots to give haste. Opponent seems to have had a tough decision there. Got some mana. Now most of those cards are now castable. There's a new Seasoned Dungeoneer that gets my opponent into stash immediately, giving them the mana they need for their next creature. So I've got a 2/2. Oh, come on, deck. I've got a 3/3. I have two 4/4s. I'm going to go ahead and Ancient Tomb here. I'll give this other one haste as well, and I'll send in. This is a lot of damage. Opponent is going to take all 9 to the face. I will grab a mountain. I've got 3 lands in hand that I can't do anything with. I'm passing the turn here. Opponent can get a skeleton from Catacombs as a blocker after they attack me, and they still have 3 cards in hand, and they should, in theory, be castable. I'm losing the initiative. I'm at 15. The good news is I have Trap that I can work towards, I suppose. One more hit plus Trap might end up being enough to kill my opponent. Oh, am I just eating a hardcast Fury? That's tough. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Oh, god damn it. Thought opponent just, like, savagely punted. Fable. Well, I don't have a good attack into the Double Striker. I think that means that I am playing a creature. Even if I equip Boots here, I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I'm just going to save the life. And I'll pass the turn here with the intention of trying to do something cool next turn, but this is probably overwhelming. Oh, I imagine I'm dead if my opponent just has a hasty broadside. Ugh. I think if I go to equip the Lava Spur Boots, attack, make the treasure token, I think my opponent just blocks both, and I am probably in a worse position. Yeah, disgusting. Archon of Emeria revealed. But my opponent is letting me go to blocks. Is there any way I survive this? This is 5, 9, 13 plus throw. I need 2 bodies to block all of the others. Nah. We got overpowered. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com. If you want to see upcoming sets, if you want to understand commander brackets, or if you just want an awesome place to store all, and I mean all, of your deck lists, Moxfield is the place. You can organize all of your decks by folders, and you can even change the views. You like visual, they've got that. You like text, they've got that. Check out my Moxfield Pro Field if you want to see all, and I mean all, of the decks that I've been cooking up. Okay, pretty medium opening hand over here. I can do a turn 1 Chalice, and then lose City of Traders. I can do a turn 2 Fable, that's pretty medium as well. Not excited about this, especially on the draw. I think I am just going to mulligan this. Okay, there's some fast mana here. So, land drop, Chrome Mox Imprint Red Thing, Chrome Mox Imprint Red Thing, Magus on turn 1. I think I have to keep both lands with his hand, with the intention of imprinting 1 in all likelihood. I think I'm going to keep this and try to keep this 1 ring here. I think that's the plan. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Blood Moon on 1. Don't mind if I do. That's not immediately good. It might be fine in a minute. I think I just make a land drop. Callous on 0 is kind of devastating if I don't make a play using these now. Yeah, Chalice on 0 is kind of devastating if I don't do something immediately. I think I will imprint 1 Magus of the Moon now. Keep Shatterskull smashing. It's currently my land drop for next turn. Mountain? Pithing Needle resolves. The 1 ring would be disgusting. Please name like Broadside instead. Fuck. Well, we'll take it. Play that. Play a Chrome Mox. Imprint nothing. Play a Broadside. Send in for 2. Opponent's at 16. Throw a Chrome Mox at your face. You're at 14. Game's not going well because of this Pithing Needle. Oh, are you actually a painter? You are actually painter. Sure. Phyrexian Dragon Engine to Yard, which is fine. We'll go ahead and play a Chrome Mox. No imprint. Go to combat. Send in for 2. Opponent's at 12. We'll throw the bad Chrome Mox at the Engineer and cast a Simian Spirit Guide. The Simian Spirit Guide is worth a 5 points of damage. Oh, that's not what my opponent wants. Okay, cool. I will play a mountain. I will play a One Ring. I will get protection from everything. I will desperately click on the One Ring and it won't work. I will send in for 4. Opponent's at 8. I will throw One Ring at their face. They are at 2. Either one of my creatures connecting is lethal next turn. Broadside even entering the combat step is just lethal as well. And my opponent concedes. Did they keep a 7? So they kept a 7-card hand that just produced Blood Moon and did nothing else. Maybe their hand was a mulligan. A little hard for me to tell without seeing the entire thing there. Alright, so we are playing against Painter. I am not in love with Chalice of the Void. I don't think Leyline is strong enough. Let's just get these out. I'm not super interested in those. I am not interested in Blood Moon. If I can cut Magus of the Moon, cool. I might not be able to. Blood Moons are very, very awkward in this matchup because my opponent has Urza Saga as well. So if you play the Blood Moon with a bad timing, like, you just give them an infinite Urza Saga machine. I definitely want Fiery Confluence. I definitely want Null Rod, Disruptor Flute. Pithing Needle, Grafdigger's Cage are reasonable things to be thinking about. Cage doesn't stop everything. It stops them from getting Painter back. It might not stop them from getting a Grindstone back. So, like, this is mid. And this is a body that I could play that I'm not particularly excited about. Not sure that Cage makes the cut. It's okay. And I will probably trim a Magus of the Moon here. At this point, it's like, is Magus of the Moon better than Spider-Punk or Grafdigger's Cage? I think I'm going to get rid of all of my copies of Magus and turn them into other red cards. Like, there's other ways you can sideboard here that involve getting more colorless cards into the deck, but I don't want to go down too much on red cards because having Fury do its thing is very, very, very important here. Just plays a One Ring on turn 1. Land drop, Chrome Mox, Imprint, Spirit Guide, One Ring, and we're off. I mean, opponent kept their 7-card hand. There's a Welder. I don't mind drawing that. Chrome Mox. Imprint a Spider-Punk. Do a land. I am just going to get this going immediately. Sometimes I can even draw a mana source right now and have Dead Gaunt available right now in addition to playing the One Ring. Not this time, but sometimes. Urza's Saga. Painter's in play. Everybody's blue. Opponent attacks in for 1 out of spite into my One Ring protection. Oh, I guess this works both ways here. Ooh, this means that if I have this in play, my own damage can't be prevented. Huh. I wasn't really thinking about that. Wow, I did not hit any mana. Yikes. We are going to dead a Welder. That way there's not going to be protection for Painter Grindstone. I will put some boots into play, and then hopefully I just draw a soul land and do something gross with Fiery Confluence here. I think it's very possible that missing that land drop lost me the game. Another Urza Saga. Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. I'm dead to Grindstone unless I can answer Painter. Lose a couple life. There's 1 mana. There's an Ancient Tomb. Fury doesn't answer both of these cleanly. Fiery Confluence does. Destroy target artifact, 2 damage to each creature. I use Fiery Confluence, then I don't have a good way to clean up whatever artifacts the Urza Saga gets. Pithing Needle on the One Ring is probably coming, so I'm not going to get too many more cards. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is let the Goblin Shaman live. I think I'm going to play a new One Ring, Legend Rule the old one, get protection, draw more cards. Oh, nice. Okay. So now I will Fury, pitching a Spider-Punk. We'll kill Painter, mark a damage over here, and then pass. Now I can use a Fiery Confluence to wipe the board while answering a Pithing Needle. And I can keep drawing cards until I hit something like a Broadside that will let me throw these One Rings. I wonder if you're supposed to stack these triggers in a different order. I don't know without knowing what my opponent's hand is. It's possible that resolving this first and taking a critical permanent out of your deck so you don't draw it is pretty important there. For example, if Pithing Needle is what my opponent is planning on getting, they don't want to draw that Pithing Needle and have to spend mana on it on their turn. They are floating mana instead. Alright, there's the Pithing Needle. Oh, on Broadside rather than the One Ring. You gonna play your own One Ring? Ancient Tomb. Oh, it's a Karn. Back in my day, Fiery Confluence used to hit Planeswalkers, and life was good. My opponent has done this in a way where they don't get to use mana from their Goblin Shaman token, though. So at least I've got that going for me. Or, excuse me, that's not true. It would be true if it was my Goblin Shaman token. They can still use their artifacts. Okay, what did they get? Temple Trap? What the fuck is a Temple Trap? When this artifact enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature. Discard this card, destroy target artifact. Oh, that's neat. I lose 1. So I'm down a mana for Chromox. I just have no way to get rid of this Karn. I can't equip these boots because of the Karn. So I can put a 2-1 with haste into play or a 3-2 into play. I can send 12 damage to my opponent's face. That's not gonna do it. Do I have 3 copies of Fiery Confluence? 2 copies. There's not a timeline where I just draw another Fiery Confluence and 18 my opponent over 3 turns. I'm potentially dead to Mycos and Lattice next turn. I'm unhappy. I think I've lost. We're going to do 2 damage to each creature and destroy target Pithing Needle. And maybe then I don't eat Lattice immediately and I get to continue playing Magic. There's just so many things looming that are bad here, right? Like, this is now live. I'm going to have to board wipe again to get rid of that. Karn can tutor again. My opponent can destroy any one of my artifacts that becomes problematic. I'm dying to my One Ring and Ancient Tomb. Okay, so opponent's got Reflection of Kiki-Jiki now. They've picked up a Lotus Petal. There's another Fable. My opponent can also just kill me by outvaluing me. That'll work too. And Ensnaring Bridge gets involved. 2 cards in hand, I can still technically attack the Karn. I guess this could be worse. It's still very bad. It could be worse. I'm down to 7. Not where I want to be. Destroy target Ensnaring Bridge. Ow. Get to sweep both of these. But, like, this is still pretty bad. Are we hasty? Is that what we're doing here? Go to 3 with One Ring here? I think I need to save my life points. I think I need to be able to deploy a Broadside when I draw one, so that I can throw the One Ring, kill a Karn. Alright, they've gotten rid of the Temple Trap. Karn tutors? Or another Ensnaring Bridge. That's not great. Opponent deploys that. And as soon as there's another card out of hand, life's real bad for me. Now I can't attack the Karn directly with Broadside and throw my One Ring that's killing me. Down to 4. Can't cycle that. I think I'll value my time here. I think my opponent's got this one now. Let's move on to the next game. My mana's not functional here. This is an easy mulligan. Okay. The One Ring is the most powerful thing in my hand. I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to keep some extra bodies. This is very awkward. Something like a Chromox or a Spirit Guide might really end up saving this hand. Mountain Welder, sure. I mean, literally what I asked for. I think we're just going to get this going immediately. Get as many cards as I can out of this before my opponent locks it down with a Karn or a Pithing Needle or whatever. Yeah. Excellent. And next turn I can play Broadside and start damage control with the stuff that's on the field. Opponent's got their own Soul Land and a Fable. You've got it. Opponent, again, attacking into the One Ring protection. I'll take 1, draw some more cards. A Fury is, like, disgusting here. Did not get it. I can get a land into graveyard and play a Pyroglyph and kill a Welder. Or I can throw something at this stuff. I think I'm interested in this. It's a little weird. I'll pay some life. Land in yard. 4 mana for the Pyroglyph. I'm just going to ping the welder so nothing crazy happens there. And once the welder is dead, the Pyroglyph blocks the Goblin Shaman token successfully. And then hopefully Broadside and the slightly bigger Pyroglyph ends up aggroing my opponent down. End up giving a Broadside protection with Lava Spur Boots as well. Okay, 1 land to graveyard. That does not change the size of Pyroglyph. Opponent needs that mana pretty badly. I'll take my free block. We'll see if I do end up losing the Pyroglyph to some other damaging effect. Okay, we've got a Fury. If opponent had that, they could have done that pre-combat and kept their token alive. So I don't understand that play. This is going to cause them to lose City of Traders. There's a Karn. Tutoring for Ensnaring Bridge. Seems good. I'll lose a little life here. Null Rod. Probably not what I'm looking for right now. So this much is easy. I think I send this at face. Throw Boots at Karn. Opponent's at 18. I'll draw some cards. Spirit Guide. It is very possible that it is correct to play Null Rod right now and stop my opponent from using this treasure token. It's weird because it shuts off my One Ring, which has 3 counters on it, and I might want to throw a Fury next turn. Because my opponent is going to have this. I might want to attack, post-combat, play Fury, kill this creature, then 7 at face for a total of 9 damage in that turn cycle. I'm not going to play Null Rod, but I think it's pretty close. I'll take my +1/+1 counter. Opponent has Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. There's a new Urza's Saga. I wonder if it was correct to play this with haste and give up the +1/+1 counter. Damn, this is a timeline that I was afraid of. Now I have my own One Ring that is going to maybe kill me. I think I'm just going to loot for an answer. Oh, my One Ring is working. I'm fucking dumb. Sundering Eruption. Sundering Eruption on Urza Saga is interesting. Don't have a lot of life. I'm very light on red cards in this hand. This is very awkward. I think I'm into this. I think I Sundering Eruption this so that my opponent can't tutor or make the construct tokens immediately and let this live for a turn. However, the timeline in which my opponent has either a red card or Fury in hand and then draws the other and copies this is a disaster. New land drop. 1 card in hand. My creatures cannot attack. 7. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Pretty comfortable looting through these ancient tombs. My life total this low. Soul Guide Lantern, not what I'm looking for. I want a Fiery Confluence for this Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah. None of those cards are Fiery Confluence. And I also hit all damaging lands. Okay. I can't tap an Ancient Tomb anymore or I die. What a disaster. Let's play a Fury. Kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Give myself as many looks as I can. Fucking Pithing Needle. Ah! Yeah. Thanks, I hate it. My sequencing could have been better here. I could have destroyed this construct token that was about to be made as well. I do this first. No. Because if I do it the other way, my opponent can make a copy of this, but the copy goes away end of turn. Yeah, that was just bad. I don't need to kill this, I don't think. I can play an Ancient Tomb, even if I can't tap it. Maybe a Blood Moon gets involved at some point. No, I pass. No, the Fury doesn't kill this as well. It's a 3/3. More Urza Saga. So I need a basic mountain here. And a Fiery Confluence. There's a Fury. I will float mana. I will take some card that is not Fiery Confluence out of my deck. Oh, Chrome Mox might be important here, actually. That gives me Fiery Confluence without needing the basic mountain. Okay. Chrome Mox. Imprint a Fable. Alright, 5 looks. We're more than halfway. 6 looks. We're more than halfway through the deck. There's a Fiery Confluence. Get a basic land as well. We're in business. And I get a Chrome Mox. There's a lot to like here. Land drop. Fiery Confluence, destroying an artifact 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Bam, 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 bam. Go to Punchies. Punchies. Make a treasure. Hit my opponent for a lot. Throw the One Ring that was going to kill me. Now, play Chromox, imprint a Fury, play... Actually, you have haste. Play a Fable. Alright. I think I might have threaded the needle there. Discard a Null Rod. I have well beyond lethal damage next turn. Opponent's got a land. Respectfully. Fuck off. Ah! I'm not dying to my own One Ring anymore. Yes, I will loot. I'm gonna get rid of one of these. And maybe the other one, honestly. Disruptor Flute. Sure. A Pyrogoyf will finish my opponent when I draw one. So there's an Urza Saga. I think I'm just going to cycle this immediately. I will exile a Grindstone, draw a card, and now we start Disruptor Flute City. So yeah, and activate your Urza Saga in response, which is fine. Name Karn the Great Creator with one of these. I'm gonna do the second one immediately. We're just gonna try to shut this off as an out. I'm going to just play this. Oh, no, I can't play that as a land. I'll pass the turn there. I've got 3 copies of Pyrogoyf that I can draw. I think I used 1 or 2 copies of Fiery Confluence already. 1. And I've used 1 Pyrogoyf. Pithing Needle's fine. I imagine that name's Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, as I have 2 of them. Opponent named the One Ring after I discarded 2 of them. Another Ensnaring Bridge. You've got it. Alright, cool. So now I will get another Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I'm gonna just play this as a tapped land. Don't have the life to pay. Let's do a Pithing Needle on Goblin Welder here. Don't think I need to be doing Null Rod. I'm gonna go ahead and hold up my mana, pass the turn. An Engineer instead, that's fine. I can kill that. Painter's Servant to Yard. I think it's very possible that my opponent times out here. I'll make a friend. I have some cute lines that I can do that involve Reflection of Kiki-Jiki that I would do if I had a little bit more time here. But I just do not have that time. There's another One Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think I'm not making this. I will get a Chromox. I'm not imprinting anything. There's a Fury. Kill a Goblin Engineer. I'll pass turn there. End of my opponent's turn. We will start doing crimes. 4 damage on one of those. Copy again. Finish off one of those. City of Traders is fine. Collection of Kiki-Jiki on a Fury. 4 damage on one of those. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki on a Fury. 4 damage on one of those. Pass turn. There is a Painter's Servant. I will kill it with a Fury. Target Fury. 4 damage on you. Pass turn. There's a Grindstone, which is a somewhat real threat. That could mill over my relevant cards. That is not one of my threats. Play out another one of those. Pass turn. Opponent holds 1 card in hand. I have no 1/1 creatures, unfortunately. Fiery Confluence kills my opponent any number of different ways. We'll go 6 damage to face. I fully do not believe that I should have won that match based on the cards that my opponent had, but we did win, so we'll take it. What a slog. GG's. Alright, I have a solid opening hand, but I don't really feel like lock pieces win games in Legacy anymore. It's just too easy to naturally play around them. We have turn 1 Chalice into turn 2 Magus of the Moon. And I'm just like not optimistic that this is good enough to win the game. We'll see though. Excuse me. Mox Opal. Sure. Greatness at any cost, I guess. Ow. Magus of the Moon. Now, unfortunately, my opponent is a deck that has Mox Opal in it, so they can potentially make their black mana or blue mana, whatever they need, without access to their lands. Another Urza Saga. That is a Grindstone that is being countered by a Chalice. We're doing this again. Well, okay, alright. I mean, yeah. Broadside now? Fable now? Maybe Fable now. Broadside in a minute. I should technically attack with the Magus first prior to making that decision, I think. I don't think it matters much. There's an Ancient Tomb. Dead gone. With Fury here, I probably don't need that. I'm going to assume that I get another red card if I ditch both of these. Wrong. That's okay. Fury becomes hardcastable. So I will send in for 6 damage. Opponent is at 12. I will throw a treasure at face. Then any red card or any land is Fury next turn. I also don't need Fury to win. This is already lethal on board. 6 from the attack. 5 from throwing Magus at face. Total of 11. Alright. Unclear how much this Chalice did, but the Magus... Well, is my opponent blue? Is that why they didn't cast things? It could be blue painter. It's kind of weird that they just got run over if they're red painter. Mox Opal is probably more common in blue painter than red painter. It can be played in either, but like this makes more sense when you have more like Emery style things that you need to power out early. Regardless, what did we do last time? Fiery Confluences, these cards, this, and I think I ended up with a couple of these to fill. I think I went Chalice of the Void out. I went down on Magus effects significantly. I think these fully went out. If I do this and this, that gets me to where I want to be. I have a little bit of fast mana. I have a One Ring. I have a Broadside. I think this is fine. Opponent opens on Urza's Saga again. Has some fast mana. And passes the turn. I could play an Urza Saga game. I think I just have spells that are too good for me to want to do that. Let's just go ahead and play this as a tapped land and call it a turn. Ancient Tomb backing up Urza Saga. There's some tough decision going on over there. Painter's Servant. I'm going to kill that. Oh, that's nice too. Not immediately. I need my Chrome Mox in the short term. Oh, god damn it. Can't do the Broadside throw Fury trick here. I need to put a card under a Chrome Mox to cast a Broadside. Well, I guess I could. Everything is blue right now. I can Chrome Mox... Oh no, my colorless cards are all artifacts. Chrome Mox very specifically reads, you may exile a non-artifact card. I can't get too cheeky. Okay. So I'm going to Fury, pitching a Broadside, and try to remove Painter's Servant. Okay, it does work. Now, do I Null Rod? I don't think I Null Rod with 2 One Rings here. I don't even know if Null Rod should be in this deck. Opponent is floating mana, getting a Pithing Needle, putting it on Broadside, which I do have. Yikes. That Karn means that the One Rings and Chrome Mox are off. The Pithing Needle means that Broadside is off. My hand is now terrible. Karn just pluses there. Simian Spirit Guide. This is my only path forward, but its ability is off. We'll send it Karn and do what we can do. But Urza Saga is a disappearing land here, and most of my permanents don't work anymore. Not like I can use Urza Saga to get a Chrome Mox and get me out of this spot. Red Painter confirmed, which makes it very weird that a Chalice of the Void Magus of the Moon hand won the last game. Karn Tutors, getting a Void Mirror, which is very strange to me. I actively have red mana in play. I don't understand. This also puts Karn in the range where Karn dies. Phyrexian Dragon Engine to Yard. Sure. Okay. So I'll float a mana. I have no red cards in hand, which is kind of infuriating. I can't do any Chrome Mox imprint nonsense. The boots for this Broadside, or something that deals with the graveyard. Full Guide Lantern is pretty reasonable here. I'll do that. I will take out Phyrexian Dragon Engine. My activated abilities of this can't be used immediately. I can use them in a second. Send at Karn. Kill Karn. This is online again. I think I am okay in the short term. I can get this Pithing Needle out of play and start throwing things with Broadside. I feel like I'm in very good shape. If I can get to 4 mana for the One Ring, I feel like I'm in very good shape. So I don't need much. That's a little sad, but okay. My opponent took Ancient Tomb damage for that. Is leaving up a Goblin Engineer, which I don't think is valid with Soul Guide in line. Hieroglyph is real cool a little bit later. I'm gonna pass the turn here. This is more annoying. I might now need to pull the trigger on playing this Null Rod, which I didn't super want to do. Alright. I have great spells that I cannot use. What do you do if I Soul Guide Lantern and remove the graveyard? What do you sacrifice? The Void Mirror? Which unlocks Chrome Mox, which doesn't matter if I'm doing Null Rod. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this, and my opponent can get a Painter into play, and then I'll stick a Null Rod. This is a weird game of Magic. Okay. No response. I have zero ability to predict this opponent. There's a Null Rod. Alright. I just need to draw some land, get to this stuff. I'll win easily. You can attack me for 10 turns in a row if you want. Opponent goes down to 10. Another Engineer is a rough top deck for me. It's Chaos Defiler. Alright. That's a frustrating one. There's 1 mana towards all of these cards. 1 Engineer swings in. I'll take 6. Okay, there's another. Alright. Do that. Cast Fiery Confluence. I'm going to do 2 damage to each thing and destroy target artifact. I'm going to destroy Chaos Defiler. That way it just doesn't remain in play, messing me up. This is not going to go fully like I want it to go, though, unfortunately. Alright. So my opponent sacrifices this, and then they can just bring it back with Goblin Welder. I think giving them the chance to make the mistake is important. Alright, we're just clowning. I don't think my opponent should be clowning. I don't think they are in the position where that makes sense to do. I think taking the Void Mirror out of play and like having a Pithing Needle in play on something like the One Ring. Why did my... Oh my god. I fucked up. So this has 1 target with the modal spell. So with the target removed, if I select any artifact, this gets countered. So I needed to go 2 damage to all creatures, some damage at face, and then I get another turn at 3 life, where if I draw a card that answers Chaos Defiler, I'm okay. Yep. Alright, I messed up. That's on me. Plays a turn 1 Broadside and then doesn't do anything else overly impressive. I guess I just throw Spirit Guides at face. Most draws that aren't lands improve this hand. Opponent was surprised by the interaction there at the end. Yep. I missed it too. Opponent is on 6 cards. Operation Broadside is a go. 18. Lightning Bolt's actually one of the scariest cards here, if this Broadside is just removed immediately. Same deal. I cannot overstate how annoying that is, because each one of these Spirit Guides was worth 10 points of direct damage, and now my hand does nothing. Okay. I mean, that's a very different angle of attack than what I thought we were doing, but here we are. Send in for 2. I'll play a Disruptor Flute on something on my opponent's turn, just for the sake of my Urza Saga curve. This doesn't do anything yet. I might Disruptor Flute it anyway. I don't have to do it right now. I think Grindstone's scarier, because Grindstone kills me faster, but Agatha's Soul Cauldron is horrifying long term. Well, I'm in. Yeah? 14. Greatness at any cost. Ow. There's a Null Rod. Pass the turn. The Null Rod's a little weird because it cuts off my haste for the Urza Saga tokens next turn. I think it's just happening, though. If I knew I was going to draw that, then Disruptor Flute on Karn would have been cool to cover my bases there. Oh, absolutely. That is killing a 2/2 bear. And that is not going after my Urza Saga Construct tokens, which are going to be more threatening. Alright. I didn't have anywhere to be tonight. 11. These aren't going to attack for a while. I think it is still worth making them. It just feels bad. Let's get a Pithing Needle. Now we'll shut off Karn. And we will stare at our opponent until I draw a Fiery Confluence and get to win the game. Alright, there we go. Nobody gets to do anything fun. No fun here. I'm going to play out a Spirit Guide as a 2/2. It's more valuable as mana. Especially if I can't tap Ancient Tomb all that many times for the entire rest of the game. Fury is interesting, but not good yet. There's a land. Nope. Mox Opal. Fable is actively good here. I have a lot of bad cards. Plus, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki Fury is something that I can work towards long term. Opponent's just got lands. City is fine. Yes. Get rid of some stuff that doesn't do anything. Thinking about when I play this Fury in regards to this. I don't think I have to play it immediately. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to give it the +1/+1 counter anyway, even though there's an Ensnaring Bridge in play. I want to make sure that I have lethal if I can destroy Ensnaring Bridge. Opponent has one card in hand. There's a Broadside. If Broadside can eventually attack, that's pretty cool. We're not there now. I will put it into play. More land. There's a Goblin Welder. Cool. A new Null Rod. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 mana. This is worth 2 life for sure. I will cast a Fury using a red. We're going to kill Welder, hit Karn, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki on Fury. Fury, finish Karn. My artifacts are fair game again. My stuff still can't attack. My opponent's individual creatures are now quite bad. I'll just hold that. As this is 1, 2, 3, 4, my magic number for Fiery Confluence purposes. Actually, I think I made a mistake. I think I was supposed to play another Null Rod on that previous turn. New Karn. You got it. That is a Karn that can't be activated, so I can finish that off with a Fury combo pretty easily. Fury hits Karn. Soul Guide Lantern. Null Rod is a thing. I think I hold this. I will go ahead and play a new Null Rod. I'll pass the turn. Sacrifice this Fury. Leave up the ability to Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Fury another creature while taking out Karn. Thanks, I hate it. The opponent gets to take out some of my stuff. I think I just have to kill this immediately. Oh, this is so awkward. I could let it sit in play and just get one of my permanents. That might be better. I think that's better. I will Fury that Karn. Then my opponent can't, like, take out the Pithing Needle. What are you getting rid of? I have a lot of shit. Okay, that makes sense. Hopefully I find another one of those. Sacrifice this Fury. Fiery Confluence. I'm going to assume that this is lethal. Destroy Bridge and Pithing Needle. Send in 6 damage, gets blocked. Yeah, that should very, very easily do it. Yeah. Lose a land. Fiery Confluence. Destroy target artifact. 2 damage to each opponent. So get rid of a bridge. Get rid of a Pithing Needle. There we go. Go to punchies. Send in. Trigger. Opponent blocks a construct token. We'll let this damage go through. I did not even need to throw. Ugh. We have gotten the GGs from the opponent in chat. This league has been a slog, and it is only round 3. Buckle up. It's going to be a long video day. Bill from the future here. I recommend skipping this round. There is a wasp in my room during this round, and I am highly distracted by it. It takes me a little while to figure out what the thump, 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 thump in my room is, and then I realize that there is a wasp just crashing into random walls in my room, and I'm very distracted by it during this round, so I miss out on some stuff, and some of my commentary isn't as clear as it normally would be. I get obliterated, and it is not close. I'm gonna keep a mediocre hand here. My opponent very frequently plays Cloud Post type decks, and so I think I'm just going to keep a hand that has access to a turn 2 Magus of the Moon. There's a Once Upon a Time. There's a Cloud Post. So now my real question is, do I want to play a Chalice of the Void on 1 on this turn? at the cost of City of Traders? I believe the answer is a resounding no. I can't do the cool Urza Saga trick, because my 3 mana next turn would be all colorless. So this will just be Mountain and Pass. Planar Nexus. Karn Silex. So much for this. I believe that I just do this anyway to slow down the nonsense that can happen over there and try to get my opponent to pop it. What's the exact wording? Destroy each non-land permanent, so it's not going to take out my Urza Saga on the way or anything. Opponent is considering removing my Magus of the Moon. There's really weird implications regarding City of Traders that it is like really complicated. Like, is making an additional land drop around the City of Traders better than me having 2 additional mana with City of Traders for this turn? This is an incredibly complicated decision. I think I now make my land drop around it. And on in. Opponent's at 18. I think I'll chill. This Karn Silex game here sucks. Just no other way to put it. I am making additional land drops in a very beneficial way. That means that I can deploy a 1 ring. So I guess I will take that. And then hopefully my opponent pops the Karn Silex this turn. Cool. Nope. Well, now haste creatures like Broadside are very good to push additional damage. Alright, so there goes Magus. Alright. Yeah. 2, 4, 5, 6. Potentially 7 mana with a Spirit Guide. Karn Silex is frustrating. Hieroglyph is not very much immediate damage. I hate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to play a Chalice on 0 rather than discard it. I have the theoretical infinite Urza Saga machine going. Ugh. Yep. Now my opponent gets a fog for a turn, gets to hold up Karn Silex. Doesn't make sense for me to Spirit Guide an Urza Saga token in immediately. Yeah. Takes some damage. It's a new Magus of the Moon. I have a game 1 Pithing... no, I don't have a game 1 Pithing Needle. That's sideboard. Draw a Pyroglyph. I could actively discard some cards. Just draw on my opponent's turn. I wouldn't mind hitting a land drop. Alright, let's do this now. There's a land drop. I'm going to do one of these. Then I'm going to call that a turn there. Let's get an no, there is an instant in the yard. Let's get an enchantment in the yard. Let's get a creature in the yard. I can put artifact in the yard at will by countering Chalice of the Void. That's 7 mana. That's just a fucking Ugin. I'm going to lose out on a creature. I think my opponent is going to handily win while having been Magus of the Moon the entire game due to multiple Karn Silex. Alright. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to loot these copies of Chalice of the Void. Let's find a haste creature, please. Yeah. Nope. So do this. Let's do a Fury. Pitching a Blood Moon. There's 4 damage at an Ugin. Let's go to combat. Let's send 2 at an Ugin. Ugin's at 3. Let's play a Pyroglyph. That will kill an Ugin. That's fine there. I'll discard another Chalice of the Void. 1 ring draw is absurd. Elvish Spirit Guide gets crop rotation. That Cloud Post currently enters untapped. Then my opponent can break Karn Silex for 4. So wipe my board. Yes. And then have a billion D mana. Yep. That's a Karn. Sure. Now my 1 ring is off. Karn tutors. Getting another Karn Silex. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? Activate Urza Saga. Lose life to the 1 ring. This now is going to go up to stage 3. Notably, it does not have the mana ability. Don't need it. So, is this the moment that I use boots for some real amount of damage? I think it is. So let's do this. There's Pyroglyph. Pyroglyph kill Karn. That opens up Lava Spur Boots. Well, I guess I can do this. They're not the cards that I'm looking for. None of those cards are named Broadside. Oh, fuck, there was a one ring in there, too, wasn't there? God damn it. Ugh. None of these cards do things. So, this sucks. I didn't play optimally. But the situation is just terrible. Spirit Guide for red. Thundering Eruption on a Cloud Post. Have Ancient Tomb for 2. Thundering Eruption on a Cloud Post. That helps a little bit with the multiple permanent line. Attack for 4 out of spite. But I'm just... This is incredibly frustrating. Trying to thread this needle. The third copy of Karn's Silex backed by one ring is too much. I can take out a bunch of mana and make it harder for my opponent to do a bunch of stuff. But, like, this is just a Tron land for a ton of mana. If I don't mess up and play the Pyrogoyf, forgetting about the one ring, I can attack Karn. Then, honestly, the rest of my turn is not good. I just can't beat repeated full permanent board wipes every turn. Not even my one ring deck is designed to do that. Alright, Karn Silex has happened. Leaving Pyrogoyf. I've got a wasp in my room that I'm going to need to take care of. So apologies if at some point a small chunk of this video gets lost as I take care of that. It is out of reach as of right now. There's an Ugin. Want to gain some life. Something gets Boseju'd. Sure. I'll take a bunch of damage. See if we can draw anything. There's a Broadside. I'm going to have no... This wasp is, like, literally just bouncing into walls behind me. So I can Broadside, attack for 2, throw for 6. That's not enough. I'm gonna... I can get one more card draw with another ring. This is very awkward. I think I have to do this like this to see if I draw another Broadside or a Pyrogoyf. Because that difference can be incredibly real. Draw. Fury. Okay. So now there's Ancient Tomb, which does not cost me life. Broadside. Go to combat. Attack Ugin. Ugin takes 2. Fury. Itch. Dead Gone. There's some damage there. I guess I could have done 2 damage to face. Sorry, I am hyper distracted right now. So there's Chrome Mox. Imprint a thing. There's Chrome Mox. Imprint a thing. I'll now play Soul Guide Lantern. Exile some card. Fuck it. No, there's 2 in there. That's fine. Draw a new card with this. Pass. I can't tap this Ancient Tomb. I take 1 from this one ring. My opponent just gets 3 more cards. I don't know where this Wasp went. Drop rotation. There's a Karn. I imagine that Lattice just beats me here. Walking Ballista. Alright, I'm gonna get out of this game. Disruptor Flute, Karn. Pithing Needle. Fiery Confluence goes to face. I'll think about this as well. This prevents damage. Dallas out. Soul Guide out. Still gives me tutor targets. Dead Gone's out. I'll need 3 more cuts if I want all of this stuff. I'm gonna get rid of Fable. Fable just gets eaten by Karn Silex. That has no mana. No permanent mana anyway. Gonna be one of those days. The 5-card hand is bad. Like, the one ring is the best thing in the hand, and I need the Null Rod so I don't die to my opponent's stuff. On 5, I'm keeping it, but I'm not hopeful about my prospects. I expect that I will lose this game in short fashion. There's a Null Rod. Once upon a time, getting a Planar Nexus. Sure. I'm dealing so much self-damage here to play my cards. I'm getting dismembered as well. Alright, it grows the Pyrogoyf. There's Planar Nexus. I can't cast this yet. This is a very low value Pyrogoyf. This is only a 2/3. Maybe I can send a Fiery Confluence at face, which sends a land and a sorcery to the graveyard at the same time, and try to spin this game. A Crop Rotation. My opponent is up to a lot of mana. Filters into green for a Once Upon a Time. Getting a Glimmer Post. There is said Glimmer Post. Another Dismember. Sure. Enjoyable. I'm just dead to that next turn. The one ring with Null Rod in play. There's a Blood Moon. Sure. That seems reasonable. Karn tutors again. Getting an Ensnaring Bridge. Alright. Wasp is in my ceiling fan. Cool, cool, cool. That's just protection from everything. That does not actually do anything with a Null Rod in play. I can Fiery Confluence my opponent's face for 6 damage with an Ensnaring Bridge coming. I don't really think that's correct. I might just die to this, like, plus on this. Is my out draw the other Fiery Confluence next turn? That might be my out. This is a very bad situation. Oh wait, no, there's protection from everything right now. Alright, I'm chilling. There's plus on the 1 ring. I'll get hit for 4. I'm at 5. Yeah, I think we are playing towards drawing the other Fiery Confluence. Alright, 6 damage to face. You're at 6. I win if I draw Fiery Confluence. You win otherwise. There's a new land drop. Arn Tutors. It's not Mycosynth Lattice. There's a Disruptor Flute. If my opponent... Yeah, my opponent figured out what's going on. I will put some permanents into play, I guess. I'm effectively at 1 life. I'll take 1... Sorry, I'll go to 1 from this attack. There's an Ugin as well. Alright. We can get out of here. I'll take a brief pause from recording and try to get this insect out of my room. My opening hand is slow. It's also just not very good. Turn 2 Fable, turn 3 One Ring. We'll keep it. I'm not happy. Are we doing this Cloud Post shit again? My heart does not have it in me, if so. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just play one of these, tapped as a land, call it a turn. Birds. Love to find a Fury. Oh great, it's just Nadu. So we're probably just dead. It looks like my opponent is likely playing a turbo version. My alternative line that turn is Sundering Eruption of Gaia's Cradle, which only leaves my opponent with 4 mana. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Alright, good game. We're going to lose this matchup, I suspect. Fire Confluence is a board wipe. Disruptor Flute for Nomads is fine. Pithing Needle for Nomads is fine. I will potentially Grafdigger's Cage. I think I'm going to get rid of Chalice of the Void. There's a decent number of 1-drops over there, but I think I would rather just kill them with Furies and Broadsides and Fiery Confluences once they're in play, rather than trying to stop them on the stack. I think the moon effects are fine. My opponent's got a bunch of Cradles. Dead Gons are okay. Dead is another reason to take Chalice out. I will just trim 1 card, call it good. That has not enough mana. Fury's cool. It's not that cool. This hand is pretty bad. It's just glacially slow. I'm on 5 already. Now I'm on 6, because I can keep it and pray. Not feeling great here. My opponent is probably going to get 2 fetch out of basic land if they want, prior to Blood Moon coming down. This is not what I want to be doing with this deck. I don't know that I can mulligan into Oblivion in a terrible matchup anyway, though. Once Upon a Time. Misty Rainforest. Yeah. Now the Blood Moon is less effective and is probably going to end up becoming a pitch to Fury. I'm going to try to get more value out of this Fury. I'd like to get more value out of this Fury. I could also just play Blood Moon. I might still just play Blood Moon. That might prevent a Cradle from doing silly things. Doesn't get my infinite Urza Saga machine going. Keep a Windswept from being a real mana source. Bromox lets me sandbag Fury for a little while longer. There's a Broadside. Let's play this. Sure. I think I'll imprint Sundering Eruption with the intention to hardcast Fury now. That kind of messed with my plans. I need to get a threat in play as well. It's possible that I should just pitch cast and take out these 2 things. There's a Cradle. Force of Vigor. Sure. I can take 2 damage here, that's fine. This is now incredibly awkward. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep trying to leave these in play. I'm just unhappy with how this game is going. And in for 2. That's fine. Fetching. Surveilling is fine. Collector Oof is slightly annoying. I'm further away from hardcasting this Fury again. Any red card and I'm just absolutely feasting. Thank you, deck. Very cool. I'm gonna play a Disruptor Flute. I'd be naming Allosaurus Shepherd here, actually. So that those things don't just clock and kill me before I deploy Fury. The Wasp was back. It went literally into the ceiling fan earlier, so I could not get it. No attack here, I don't think. That is a Swords to Plowshares. I'll take 4 damage. That's a very awkward card to draw. I think it's just time. 2 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage. Take out the majority of my opponent's board. Unlock Chrome Mox again. My opponent does not have blue mana for a Nadu, and we just see who top decks better. Green Sun is good. That can... yeah. There's going to be some sort of mid-range card like Sidecat Cub or Keen-Eyed Curator that has the potential to just take over the game. But now hopefully I draw something like a Broadside or a One Ring that can start accruing some value. I don't understand Legend... well, I guess you can start eating immediately. That's a dead draw. I can eat a few things out of graveyard. They should eat the weird ones first, like Blood Moon and Urza's Saga. Like, take the enchantments out, because those contribute to Hieroglyph damage. Alright, we're going to eat some more stuff. This is a 7/7. I am now taking 8. I am likely to just die to Keen-Eyed Curator. Thank you, deck. Very cool. I believe my next draw now needs to be the One Ring, where I am 1-0 out. I need the One Ring to Fog, and then I need... no, the One Ring to Fog isn't going to do it, because if I draw the card... yeah, no, we're fully dead here. That means a 2-3 finish for the league. Alright, let's wrap this one up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Generally speaking, I don't think Moon Stompy is well positioned in Legacy right now. I know that its play rate is relatively high. I just don't feel like it is one of the more busted things going on in the format right now. We wiggled out of some tough spots today. That was cool. But I would have a hard time wanting to register any variant of this deck in a competitive event right now, when you can be playing with Tamiyo or playing a One Ring deck that just wins faster on average. I don't think this is a metagame where you want to try to be the person locking the other out of the game. I think you just want to be winning the game. And we saw that repeatedly today, where I would open up on Chalice of the Void, and then my opponent was in an opposing Ancient Tomb deck, and it was like, okay, cool. My card did nothing, I wasted a turn. As far as Spider Punk goes, I boarded it in a bunch. I don't know if that's going to be the norm. I largely boarded it in because Chalice of the Void and Blood Moons were bad today. So I don't know how to evaluate this card. Damage not being prevented was on the table this league. The stuff not being countered was not as much on the table. I guess this also has negative synergy with Chalice of the Void, right? So this is symmetrical. So if you have a Chalice on one and then you play Spider Punk, your opponent's stuff can't be countered. You probably never want these two cards in the deck at the same time. That's not something I thought about until now. This probably leads me to think that this is not something you want to be doing. The 2/1 body with haste, I don't think is going to line up well versus the format. It got walled by Painter today. It would get walled by Tamiyo, blocked by anything. I don't know how sold I am on this. So this is probably a fine list overall. But I just don't think I am excited about the archetype as a whole. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a day. I hope you enjoyed, despite some of the technical difficulties caused by a wasp. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya.